So, I hear that you've been wondering how to make a sandwich. You come to the right place. I am Michelle, and this is the art of sandwich making. Welcome to the art of sandwich making. I'm no chef in the cooking sense of the word. I recently discovered that chef means boss in France. In that case, I've always been a chef. I have mastered 2 of the perfect sandwiches. They're not that hard, to be honest, but in case you don't and you wanted to know how, I am here to show you. Now, firstly, for the preparation, proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Remember to wash your hands. Also, if you're anything like me in the kitchen, you will be needing an apron because I make a mess of absolutely everything. So throw back to my high school tech apron, which we will be making good use of today. Now today I'm going to be showing you how to make 2 different sandwiches. They're kind of similar but have different techniques, and I'm just going to start off with the easiest one. Like I've seen on all those fancy cooking shows, I've laid out all my ingredients in little dishes that is going to require a lot of washing up but looks nice, or just sort of laid it out on the bench for you. Firstly, for sandwich number 1, you will need a squishy maker, or as normal people call a sandwich press. Oh my gosh, I forgot the bread. It's like the key part of a sandwich. Oh no! Apparently this is all the bread we have left. Let's check if there's more in the other fridge. Oh no! We have a slight issue. We have a single slice of bread. We forgot to check that we had enough bread to film this. And that's the key part of sandwiches. Okay team, so learn from my mistakes. Always check that you have enough bread before you commence making a sandwich.
1 hour later.
It is a little bit later, and as you can see, we have groceries. And of course, the key ingredient for any sandwich, the bread. So we've got some more slices, which is good. Obviously, don't go about making your sandwich without bread, or maybe I'm just being closed-minded. Back to where we started. You will need, for the first sandwich, just 2 slices of bread. So you will also need butter, spinach, cheese, tomato, onion, the magic ingredient, garlic dip, more special ingredients, salt and pepper. You can throw in some ham or salami if you like, but I just like this one with just all the veggies. Step 1, I am going to set up the squishing maker. See, I've discovered cooking is all about timing. Step 1, as I'm sure you could have guessed, we are going to butter the bread. So, knife. Let's get this. And here you go.
Nicely spread on.
Only happens when it's raining. Okay, that is step 1. And now what you might not have expected. Step 2 is actually to apply the garlic dip. So it depends on how much you like garlic. I'm a big fan of garlic. So I just take the same knife, I don't know if that's bad, and I sort of just butter that on too. I put a fair bit because I like garlic. You don't even have to put any on. It is up to you. A bit of this, a bit of that. Step 2. We have our spinach and rocket mix, and I just like to apply my spinach on the base. And the reason I do this is because when we get to the tomato, I like to think that it sort of protects my bread from the tomato juices and from the getting all soggy. So there is my spinach. Step 2, get your tomato. I'm not that big on tomato, so I just slice it really thinly. This is just the bottom bit, so it's not ideal, but no waste. See, it's nice and thin, and I just place it onto my little spinach bed. Oh, it gets hard to cut thin. Voila, that looks pretty dang good to me. Then I like to come over to my onions. I tried it out in lockdown because we had some leftover, and it took it to the next level in my personal opinion. So this is another one that we just slice pretty finely. Actually, that's looking pretty dang good for me too. So this is where I just take a bit of salt and pepper. And I don't know about you, but on squishy sandwiches, white pepper is what I like to go for. I don't know, it hits different. And then the cheese. I am a big fan of cheese. I actually like to put 2 on. In the squishy when it's melted, it's just so nice. So we take number 1, put it on like you'd normally put it on a sandwich. And then I take my second slice of cheese and I just rotate it 90 degrees. All you do is put on your lid. And by this time, your squishy maker should have warmed up. I don't think mine's warmed up actually. Does green mean go or red? Anyway, it will warm up along the way, I'm sure. Pop it in, and now I'm doing my first initial squish. But keep in mind, that's not going to be the final squish. I also didn't tell you what this is called. It is the Squishing Supreme that we are making at the moment. Now that it started to warm up, the cheese and the bread, this is where you can see it's sort of at an angle in the squish. So I just push it in a bit further and you give it another push and it makes sure it's a flat squish, which I mean keeps it consistent throughout the sandwich. And we just leave that for a couple of minutes. I just like to eyeball it. Whenever I see that the cheese has started to melt, it's starting to melt now. Now, you can use like a spatula to get it off. I normally just use the knife that I've been using. Let's pick it up, bring it onto the plate. Oh, look at that. While it's still hot, I like to chop it. See the cheese all melting out. It's not melting out. And there we go. I'm gonna set it up nicely. The Squishy Supreme. Can't see what I'm filming, but that's okay. It's always good for when I'm not feeling like doing like a big hoo-ha for lunch, but want something that tastes good and uses stuff that I have around the house. And so we're gonna have the taste test. 2 thumbs up. There we go. It is chef shell approved. I'll have one more bite. Oh, so good. So, you're telling me you've mastered the Squishy Supreme. It's just your everyday sandwich. Shell, I came here to see how I could take my sandwiches to the next level. Now I have the sandwich for you. It's not your average bacon and egg. For this one, we're taking it up a notch and we're actually going to make use of the stove. It took me a while to master. You will be needing a pan, your oil, onion again, spinach, garlic dip, some bacon, eggs, and then your 2 slices of bread, and then butter, margarine, whatever you're feeling. It's all about timing when you involve the stove. You just got to set yourself up so that all the timing is going to line up. Step 1, make sure you have bread, and just put it in the toaster, but don't put it down yet. Just let it vibe there. Why is this? Okay. Step 2. I was told once by my mum that when you cook bacon, you shouldn't need to oil the pan. So I did that once and I put it straight in the pan and it got stuck to the pan and that pan ended up having to be thrown out. So lesson learned, learn from my mistakes, still oil the pan. So pop a bit of oil in there. Oh. And we're just gonna spread it around, make sure it's everywhere. Gonna just get it all around. I always find that my first sandwiches are the best because the timing it's right then. Get out our handy tongs, and for this sandwich I just like to do 2. I always find this the most annoying part, trying to get the bacon out of this silly thing.
Oh my gosh, it's in my face.
I think this is the bacon I usually use.
Oh no, it's like a lump stuff.
I managed to get out quite a bit of it onto the pan. Normally I'd probably have 1 less bit than this, but we're going to go with it. I just like to put it on one of the second largest burner. Let me just turn that on.
This is my recital. I think it's very vital.
Then the next step is to just get prepared for what's to come, because once that bacon gets cooked, everything starts happening quite fast. So then I just like to slice up my onion just like we did for the previous one. I also like to get my egg ready because if you're anything like me, I am not good at cracking eggs without getting a shell in them. So we do it in a cup first. So let's go. Whoop. A bit of a mess, but that's okay. And now it's just a waiting game for when the bacon starts to look crispy on one side. So once it starts looking cooked on one side, I will be back and I will show you what we do next. Turn it up, turn it up. Kind of love. While we're waiting for that to cook, I'm just going to head down to the basement to chill out. 2, 1, go, what's up here? The bacon is sizzling away nicely and I'm just going to check it, and I'm pretty sure it's nice and brown to where we want it to be. So I'm just going to flip it over. So there we go. That took about 2 minutes to cook, about the time that the song Jumpstart takes. And then at this time, I like to add my egg. So it's important that the pan is hot enough before you add the egg because we don't want it running to be massive. We want it to sort of stay in the spot. Honestly, I reckon that probably the way that went would mean it needs to heat it up a bit more before I added it. At this time, put your bread down. Heat your egg directly over the heat. So my egg's cooking away nicely, and once your egg looks like it is crisping up nicely at the bottom, I add my spinach. So I take about a handful, and I just put it on the side opposite the bacon. Add more than you think that you probably need. I think this bacon has gotten to be a lot smaller than I expected it to turn out. See, things are happening. This is what I meant about timing. For my toaster, I always have to put it down to a little bit more, but I need to remember to pay attention because otherwise it will get burned. Take your tongs and just mix the spinach around a bit. And then, oh, don't forget about your toast. Oh no, it's still good. It's still good. My bacon's turned into like nothing. Oh well, I'm actually just going to take this off the heat. There we go. It's looking good. Oh my gosh, my toast. Okay. Still good, it's still safe. Then, step 2, get your butter. Butter your bread. Then we are going to get our garlic dip like before and just spread it on one side. Come over to our pan and like before, starting off with the spinach, I'm just going to lay that nicely on the garlic side. Look. Once you've got your spinach, and I add my onion. There we go. There we go. Oh! Oh no. Don't do that. And then, oh my gosh, my egg. I just left it, and that's what happened. It just exploded on itself. Not ideal, but we're working with it. Then I like to place my bacon on top of that. Pop the egg on top. You also have a bit of yolk that ran away and pop him on top. I've got to say that little extra bit of yolk is really throwing the look for me. Then the last ingredient, barbecue sauce. So we're just going to drizzle that on top. And there you go. There we go. Can't believe I've mastered this. I used to struggle with bacon and eggs. I've popped this on. Pop the top on, give it a smush. Be careful about the yolk, it can be quite dangerous. First taste test, I'm going to take a bite. Let's get here. Not your average bacon egg roll, even better. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you have 2 brand new sandwich recipes that you can whip out whenever you need, especially when we're stuck here in lockdown. I hope you enjoyed the video. And always remember to clean up the kitchen afterward. Oh my gosh. And shot. Okay, cut. This flopped epically. Oh, there's my phone. The square theory, I don't know. I remember some website I was looking at. Angles. Oh, look at that magic. And I mean, you could get a new plate. This is pretty clean though, so I'm just gonna brush it off. Gotta give it a jump. Start, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at this. Look at this machine. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking out the front. still learning. It's so good. I couldn't talk with my mouth full. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the art of sandwich making. I hope that you learnt something. I'm sure I would have benefited from a video like this literally a few years ago, but it eventually came to me. I eventually learnt about sandwiches and the art of it, and I thought I would share it with you. So let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to make. I might try cooking something out of my comfort zone, but we will see.